The Ramble is a great gig for anyone who hasn't been there. Down at Levon's place in upstate New York. It's pretty incredible. I highly recommend it. Among the many projects you've done since the band hung it up the first time, The Last Waltz, this new one people are talking about, because it's quite exciting in that you've assembled all of these great Canadian bands, in particular vocalists, and you present, Garth Hudson presents a Canadian celebration of the band. You're playing on all the songs on keyboards?
Yes. Yes.
How did you go about selecting from this breadth of great Canadian talent, the people that would play on these 18 songs? How did that come together?
Well, there are many more, you know, that people are talented. Some came to us by word of mouth, you know, reference from a friend, and Maud, my wife, Maud, began to research Canadians, you know, who there was. We were surprised that the people that are pretty big stars were from near Peterborough or wherever it was, and the Rodeo Kings from Winnipeg. Wow, they're great, you know. So we listened carefully, and sure, there's a part, too, that could be done in short order. More songs, more individuals. I've been encouraged by the spirit, you know, and I'm looking forward to the event where we all get together
and do a show?
In the church, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Well, big hall, you know. But a lot of the work that was done, the beauty of the presentation, you know, the graphics and the design was from my wife's work, and she actually conceived this.
Oh, great.
Does that sound right?
A woman of many talents.
Original conception.
She's right over there. She's had her name in lights before, or at least in graphics before. I've seen her on your records.
You can see her blushing from here.
Susie McNeil is a friend of mine, and I was so pleased to see her. What was your impression of Susie? Had you met her before this project?
Susie's a knockout.
Isn't she? In every way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What she's singing for us here, you know, is not that easy to sing spot on, you know. Sure, she did. She came in and did it very quickly, and they were all prepared, you know. Tavis is a great guitar player.
Among the favorite tracks on the record, I mean, how could I not say this being a fan of Neil? I got you and Neil on the same track, and the Sadies, the band. Talk a bit about the experience of recording with Neil, if you would. What's it like hanging out with Neil Young? Either over a table having a coffee or playing in a studio with him?
As far as I can see, he hasn't changed, you know, since I went to his house and jammed with him and hung out a little bit. But he, you know, just the same to me. We're professionals, and that's it. But we do have a few funny stories. More funny stories to tell. Well, on the technology side of it, his amplifier is something to behold. It's, I believe, mostly tube technology, and it does have that sound. Guitar players were right. If you want to add grit to your projection, then use tubes, you know, overdrive your amplifier.
I do. If I got a Fender Twin, and nothing sounds better to me.
Yeah.
At least for a guitar.
There's something. I know they are seriously trying to duplicate that digitally and more power to them. And I know also that probably the tubes won't burn out. So I'm going to look into that because I like to put effects on my equipment, on my sounds.
Can you imagine if the piano hadn't evolved beyond an upright acoustic or an acoustic period? Where would music have gone from a keyboard standpoint? Was it freaky to you when synthesizers, when the Moogs came in? What was that like?
No, because before that, I worked for an electronic organ company. We began to see that electronic instruments were doing a bit more than you could with a standard keyboard like this. Well, you could do that with the early Moogs, and you could do that with the, let's see, the Lowry organ. So that's one reason why I picked a Lowry, was that you could, you know, you could slide. Let's see here. And you could go into anything from that.
It's so fun, isn't it?
Yeah, some of it's, will carry on, you know, it's kind of fun, yeah. Anyhow.
I had my iPod on shuffle the other day. There's X thousand songs, right? You know, you put it on shuffle and whatever comes up, comes up.
Oh,
I do it out of convenience because you're in the car.
Yeah, okay.
And if you don't have satellite or you aren't currently listening to the local station, shuffle. And you almost surprise yourself at what you have in your collection. Oddly, ironically perhaps, this was Saturday, knowing I was coming to meet you today. A genetic method came up, and it's never come up on shuffle. Just randomly, it came up. I thought it was interesting. How do you go and choose, out of everything you've done, these 18 songs, how do you narrow it down? Was it input from the artists that were contributing to the record, or was it solely you?
No, Maud and I picked those songs.
What's
beforehand.
the criteria?
2 or 3 of the people had a song in mind that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think we went with anybody, because we'd already done that, see. We'd already prepared that. And sure, if somebody had gotten rolling on the floor and pitching a Hollywood fit, we might have gone with them, you know.
But that didn't happen?
But everybody was pretty quickly agreeable, you know. And so we avoided certain better-known selections.
ExploreMusic wears English Laundry apparel.